Everyone, this is AutoML training meeting on 9th of February. Welcome everyone. So I'll share my screen. So just before we start, as always, if you want to check our previous recording, please feel free to check this YouTube playlist channel, YouTube playlist. In the meantime, if you want to add something to the agenda, feel free to update this doc in the future meetings. And I will include like the previous recording, the previous session link for each meeting afterwards. So, yeah, you can hear me great. Yeah, just before, you can hear me, right? Everything is fine.
I can, yes.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, just before we start, I just want to quickly mention about the release. So as I can see, everything is we're doing good. So 0.13 release candidate for KDB is ready. We have one cherry pick, which we actually merged, I think, couple of days ago. So I don't know. So commoners, from my understanding, the manifest testing has not been started yet, right? And it will start today or tomorrow, right?
Yep.
So I don't know, like this is not the fix that we really want to test from the manifest perspective. So probably we can wait a couple of weeks before make like the new release candidate, maybe because our users will find any like more bugs there. Because this PR just easily update the Python version of our SDK. Yes, I think it should be fine. What do you think, Jono? So does it sound good to you to testing with our current RC for KDB?
Sorry, once again, like testy. What is that?
Yeah, I just said that we probably don't want to create a new RC for this cherry pick.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
Right, like the things are fine. I think we can directly cut at least for both, for training as well.
Okay. Yeah, and just create another RC in a couple of weeks if we. Yeah, because if we find any other issues, that probably we need to address them in the next RC.
But we haven't seen, right?
Sorry.
Did we see something?
Not right now, and
yeah. So if it is not required, then do we really need a different RC?
No, we can just make the official one, and that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, unless we see any blocker or some fixes in, we don't need to go for a different RC. We will see based on the testing state.
Yeah, sure. And probably we need to take a look at this these bugs to see maybe there are some of them which we need to address.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, like speaking about the release, since we can speak about training as well. So from my understanding, we've got like the 1.4 release, right? Yeah, I think it's right there. So we already updated the manifest, right, for the training. Do you have any questions to release for us? Come on, maybe for training or KDB?
From what I understand, so both KDB and training are okay with the current RC. Once the manifest testing week starts, we don't have to do any bump the manifest there, correct?
Yeah, I think it should be fine. So
yeah, for both training and KDB, like unless we see any issues, we will cut the same release. I think that is what is planned.
Okay, great, we'll leave it as is then. My only question, yeah, I bumped into it, so I briefly mentioned it to Andre. I was testing the notebooks that the GCP folks had to test their distribution, which spawns a pipeline, that spawns an experiment, that spawns a TF job and a KF serving inference service. And at some point, at least that experiment did not work with TF job because some annotations were changed in the maybe 1.4.
Yeah, it's a good point.
My small request is exactly what you're proposing. Can we at least have a small list like for the release to tell users like these are the annotations, the things changed in the APIs or that you should keep in mind, just as release notes for training operators, so that people using the previous annotations can know that, oh, now I need to switch to these annotations to be aware of changes between versions.
Yeah, because I think it's this PR. Yeah, we probably need to mention this PR in the release notes as well. Yeah, it's a good point, because the label has been updated for the training site, and we probably need to check all of our examples which are using training operator in KDIP, because I know we have a couple of examples. Let me show you.
In this, so in the test, which operator are we using? A version are we using there?
1.4.
Yeah, the latest one.
No, I'm saying like in the CATIP CI, when we are testing the examples.
Yeah, let me see. So I think
we
we're
using the latest one, or is it a tagged version?
Yeah, I think it's tagged version 1.3 probably. Let me see.
I see. Okay.
It's not. I
I
think it's here. Yeah, training operator. Yeah, manifest. Yeah, we're just cloning. We're just getting like 1.4 branch from Kubeflow /
Oh, so we are still using the previous one.
Yeah,
I see.
We're using the previous one.
Okay, then I think we have to update this, right? Because else we would not be able to understand if there are any problems.
Yeah, and also I think we need to update all of our examples. Not examples, like the default labels for KDIP. So I think it's here.
Okay. So, yeah, good to know. I think then we need a different release as well.
Yeah, it's I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, we're using like the job role master. Yeah, probably we need to update this also. Yeah, it's a good point. Let me actually update the manifest repo that we're using for our testing, and then we can figure out which examples are not working.
So then it should basically fail, right? Like if you update that, the test should the CATIP should fail, right?
Yeah, as long as like we need to.
If they are not changing labels.
Yes.
Okay. I think let's do that. I think that is important. So the branch is already cut, right? Like in manifest?
I don't think so, right?
Kimonas, did we cut the branch in manifest?
So the branch is already cut, but it's about adding new commits to sync manifests at newer versions.
I see. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, since training operator manifests are already merged, in that case, I think we can use a 1.5 branch itself from manifest to test the training operator.
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
Wait, I missed this discussion. What was the proposal to use?
No, so basically the CATIP CI basically uses a branch of manifest to deploy training operator for its CI testing. So I was wondering, why didn't we actually catch this label issue in CATIP CI? So because it was still using 1.4 branch of manifest. So the first we will update the manifest branch we will change that to 1.5 inside CATIP, so that our CI will basically pick up the latest training operator, and we will test it against that. And then if things are working, then we will we'll create a new RC1 for CATIP and then push that as well upstream.
Okay, yes, then that's in that case. Now I'm saying, yes, we do have a new 1.5 branch in manifest, so you can switch your CI to use that one then.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, And also, like, we updated some examples afterwards, like some E2E examples upstream that you were using in your like end-to-end testing. Okay.
So for notebooks, because we do have some breaking changes or some changes that people will need to do in their config maps from the previous release to the new one, I'm going to create at least an issue to document these things.
Mm-hmm.
And once we create the final release in GitHub, I will also include this issue to point to people to upgrade nodes. So if you
Mm-hmm.
at the end, if we see that we need to have such an issue also for training operators for maybe some annotations or some other works that might arise, it might be a good idea to include that as well so that we can have upgrade instructions throughout the projects in the manifest release once we. But let's wait to see how your testing will go as well on things that might need to be documented.
Yeah, sure, definitely. We should mention it like in the release notes, as you mentioned, because it's breaking change for everyone. We're just using training operators. Mm-hmm. So any other questions that we have? You probably also need to take a look some of the labels that we're using in our examples, because I'm afraid we probably using the old one. For example, for MPI job, we're using this label, and we need to take a look if it is correct right now for 1.5 RC0.
Yeah, so once we test in Cat CI, we will get to know, right? Then we will.
Yes, but the problem is, like, for our CI, we're testing on a TF job and PyTorch job. We don't have CI for other. Yeah,
I see.
So we need to test them manually.
Yeah, that's okay, right? Because that needn't be. These are just examples, so we can cut RC and then we can change examples in the repository. I think that should be fine. The release cut needed, because those are these are not anything specific to operator, just examples, right? So we could change examples if we find anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and again, this default value is also can be modified even now for our users. So if they want to use the current labels, they just need to change the API, right? Yeah, it's also should work. Sounds good. So, any other questions for the release? Okay, let's move forward. So, John, do you want to share your screen in the presentation?
Yes. Give me a second. I'll do that. Host disabled participants.
Yeah, sorry. Let me see. You can try now.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see it now, right? Okay, so it will be a brief presentation about the work that we are doing on my trial page and showing logs in the UI. So I'll just show the progress there. To have an overview, there are two main issues that Kimonos created. So the first one is to have a dedicated page for each trial in Katib UI, and the other issue is to fetch logs from pods, and that's like one of the tabs that will show in the trial page. So the first issue, I submitted a PR, so waiting for a review, and I think that should be okay. There's an overview page for each trial where we show performance, status, experiment name, trial name, and then trial conditions. And then we can expand from there. So yes, after the review, we'll know more about what needs to be fixed, and then we'll proceed. The second one is something I'm working on right now, and I think this we'll need to discuss a bit more, not necessarily during this meeting, but at some point. So the idea is to fetch logs from each worker from a trial, and yeah, I'm currently working on that. It's easy if we have one worker, if we have a Kubernetes job. But if we have a TF job or a PyTorch job or something like that, then we need to show logs from all of the workers. What I'm showing here are initial screenshots, and like a prototype, of course, we'll have a better CSS in the end. But this is just the idea of how would that actually work. So we would have like a table of workers, and then we should be able to click and show logs of each pod. So a bit of details.
One question there. So just curious, do you need logs from all the workers? What do you use that for tracking?
Like maybe we don't necessarily need it, but for me, when I debug my personal jobs, I like to have logs of all the workers and see if sometimes an error happened in worker 5 for whatever reason. So
Okay.
that's why I thought it might be a good idea to have logs from all the workers.
Okay.
So I can I can go and discuss how I developed that. Basically, extended katib client.go to have another function that would be get trial pod logs, which would have one argument that would be a trial name and another argument which is namespace. So each pod which belongs to a trial has a specific label that's a job name equals to the trial name. So that's how we can obtain all the pods that are under a trial. So that's what I used to make this work, except for the MPI job where the label is MPI job name. Maybe that needs to be unified with the rest of the system. And the output would be a map, which would be a pod name and logs as a value. So I'm getting logs from a primary container name container or metrics and logger collector in the master. So I guess we have to see how to obtain that in the best way. Okay, I could maybe even show a quick demo, although it's already...
Glad that like you raised that. Like, can you just create an issue as well to track that MPI job name? I think we have to unify that. If you can create issue in the training operator repository, that would be great.
Absolutely, yes, I can do that.
Thank you.
Sure.
So just a quick point here. So about the job name, do we have this label right now for training? So for normal Kubernetes job, do we have this label?
Yes.
Okay, and because it's because batch job by default is adding this label to the like job spot, right?
Yes.
By default. Okay, and for training pods, we also adding these labels as well, right? For tier job, PyTorch job, MPI job. Okay.
So yeah, basically, for MPI job, it is not uniform, which has to be fixed.
Yeah, because I just was thinking, is it like the proper solution? Because trial name, is it always that we have this label in all sort of the environment, like for example for pipelines or for Argo workflow?
Okay. For that I didn't test. That's on another page. For pipeline logs, I did not check yet.
Can you so Andre, what are you saying about like in pipeline jobs? What do you think? I didn't get that.
Because the problem is like if you again open this slide, we're just looking for this specific label
or a button that would link to that page. That as we have in the trial table for like if there's an associated pipeline run, then you can click and show that. I think for now we could do that, but later we could expand.
Because the question is like, why? Okay, we're doing this because we cannot like obtain the logs from all of the pods, because in our experiment API we have only primary pod labels, right? And this this won't work if we want to obtain the logs from all of the pods, right? And this is the main problem that we're looking for, this specific label. Because yeah, if you just if on your presentation, if you go up on the 5th slide.
Okay. Yes.
On the slide number 5.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
That's the next slide. Okay.
Yeah, the previous one.
The previous one. Okay.
Yeah, just wondering about like the message that pod are filtered to contain a label. So the problem is here that since in our experiment API we have the primary pod label, this primary pod label just define the primary pod only one, just the main, like the master pod, for example, for TF job. And we cannot using this API to obtain other pods, right? For example, in TF job, we have like one chef and a couple of workers. And that is why we need to find some other like
Andre, so here, from what I understand, he's looking at all the pods, not anything specific to the primary pod, right? So yes. For all the pods, he's assuming that there is a label which has key job -name and there is a trial name.
But this won't work for all of the CRDs, right?
Which CRD do you think it won't work?
Again, as I mentioned before, like for example, for Argo, we need to see how does it work for Argo. How does it work like for pipelines? Oh, sorry, for Tekton.
Yes, I agree, absolutely. But I'm not checking the primary pod. I'm just checking the primary container name.
Yeah, I understand. To get the main container, but it's more about like on the pod level. So we don't have any sort of the API to know how to define these pods which related to the trial job, right? We don't have anything which is common to all of the CRDs. I mean, this is because this is the good point, like the good thing to discuss how we can indicate all of the CRDs resources. And is it correct to check the job name? It is true for jobs and for training operators, but for other CRDs, it probably won't work. This is just my point here.
Yes.
Custom CRDs, you're saying?
Yeah, sorry?
For the custom trial templates that we are using, that's what you're saying?
Yes, for others, yeah, maybe in the future we're using another CRD which not follow the same labels, right? Did you get it?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead. I think we can discuss about it, how we can maybe optimize it in the future. But yeah, go ahead.
This works for a TF job, MPI job, PyTorch job, and training operators. But for the other potential jobs, we should probably find a better way to do it. This is like the last slide would be the questions that I have. The one that John already mentioned, the MPI job label maybe should be modified to job name, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We should have
we should create an issue. Yeah, let's create an issue to track it.
Yeah, and the container from which we get logs, primary container name and or metrics and logger collector. I mean, I guess we could change that, but this is how I did it for the prototype. Okay, we can check that later also, and then pipeline logs, of course. For now, we could have a link to the run page, but maybe later we want to actually implement that. And the first question would be the ideas for the UI, how we should actually implement that on the page. So we don't have to answer all the questions now. It's just something to think about and see how we can do that. And let me quickly just show how it works. Can you see the Chrome now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so like there's a list of experiments, and then okay, it broke.
You can maybe just restart.
Yeah, it will take a while to make it work again. because it's port forwarding on different levels.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So sorry about that. Let's not
No
waste
worries.
time on that.
Yeah, no
Just
worries.
I showed the screenshots, and that's how it works pretty much. So yeah, if you have any ideas,
I think it's
let me-
great. I mean, yeah. I mean, overall, I like the UI, which we follow the similar experience as for the suggestion of for the experiment. So, Cameron, do you want to like just say something about the user experience there?
Still catching up with most of the changes. They do look good for the most part. I like the Jan's proposal to actually link to it makes sense to link to the KFP UI for the KFP logs, because I saw that as a question as well. At least as a temporary solution to get something working and redirect people there until we decide to do something else. My only small not technical, but we can sing with the Jan on that. I had put some work on how to show the logs on the web app for Cave serving. So maybe we can see on how to use some of the code there, so that it might be late because the Jan has already done some work. So I know I might not be helping much at this point, but it could be helpful to also look at that code over there to see how much we could all support and just keep the same code for showing logs, at least the front end component. For the UX part, I think that the discussions we're having are great next steps on actually deciding how to show the logs, how to select the pods, maybe having for the entire Kubeflow project like a special label or annotation that means if you have this annotation, then it means someone will be looking at your pod to gather logs. Maybe this could also make sense to avoid the problem of, oh, okay, how can we do it for training? How can we do it for Argo? Let's expect that there's a single annotation, and if there is this annotation, then the UI can fetch the logs from there, so that even people with custom templates can use that annotation and still see their logs. But yeah, I'm mostly trying to follow up with the news right now.
Yeah, something similar that came to my mind, like these spot logs. Basically, it's actually similar to any training job, right? So if we could actually make it common and like reused across jobs, right? Like say, for example, if we had a tab in UI which actually points to all the training jobs that are happening, and the same code can be reused for seeing logs, right? For that, I think that would be great. And like it would be like a reuse of most of the code that Dejan has actually used.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your feedback. That's great. I think we can continue like this.
Yeah, because yeah, just one thing from my side. Take a look on this example. Let me show you. So this one. So basically, which like API functionality we have, we can use the child spec name in our labels. So the thing is, the point here, because we have a use case before when users have a specific volume to attach to the child, and they want to use the child name inside this volume to be able to save like the particular volume for each child, like maybe save some metadata. And the thing is, maybe so the point is here we can maybe use the annotation to save the child name, and almost all the CRD allows you to specify the annotation for the pods. For example, like Job allows you, I'm not sure about Argo workflow, but I think they also like allows you to specify the annotation, because if we take a look at examples for Argo workflow, I think it's possible. Because for that case, we should say like your like your custom pod, like CRD pod should have the specific label, and if yes, we can collect this pod. We can collect the logs, right? Yeah, because this probably we can try to follow, which will be like the same for across all the CRDs. Yeah.
Okay, but that would be an additional label, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's additional label. Yeah, to just specify it in the trials template. Yeah, because I remember for Argo we're also using this. Because let me share the example with you. Yeah, so for Argo we this one. Yeah, let me actually share my screen. So do you want to show something else, John, or I can share my screen?
No, you can show
No,
your
okay,
screen.
yeah, sure. Yeah, so the point is here. So this is Argo template, and we're just specifying this annotation, and this annotation automatically just substitute in all, just using in all of the trials. Sorry, not all of the pods. And by this label, we just identify the specific pods. So we can use the same annotation but with a trial name and with the specific like name, like what you mentioned before, like job name or any other like specific label which all of the pods should have, and then we can collect the
Andre, I
logs.
think somehow I feel that should be added in code inside, like rather than explicitly putting, like people will make mistakes and then things people will think like things are not working. So I think we have to implicitly handle that within our code.
It may be, but yeah, go ahead.
Like how we do for other jobs, right? Like we add job name, etc. for other jobs, right? Similarly, I think we have to do that within category.
Yeah, but that won't work for like custom service like replica spec, or I don't know, any other.
I'm
like
saying, so here you are basically using this tag, right? So yeah, I think we can think a little more about it. Let's see if we can actually do that implicitly.
Yeah, I got it.
Say someone basically added a different tag, and then if it is not working, they will get confused why it is not, right? Because there are no logs or anything that can indicate that this is the problem.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, because it's a little bit harder for the user. Anyway, I mean, yeah, we can start with something simple as John proposed with the job name, and then they can maybe figure out how to make it better across all the CRDs. Yeah, because it's not a huge change. So the next step will be like, first of all, check this POPR, right? So I think it's this, where is it? Yeah, this one. So the first step will be merging this PR, and then we can, do we have an issue to discuss like how we want to show the logs? I think it's this or that one. I'm talking about like the UX there, just how we should show this all of the pods.
Okay, should we have a separate issue for that or use this one?
I think probably this is good enough. Let me see. Yeah, we can maybe just discuss in the commoners issue, so it will be fine. Yeah, but because maybe just so how we want to iterate on the UI there, just show the screenshots or just ask for the feedback.
I think that would be good.
Okay,
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. And by the way, like this, as we discussed before about like using the code from the KF serving. So, commoners, are you using like the common libraries there, or you have like a separate function there?
That's one part I might need to work a little bit on. Most probably it's on the web app of KF serving, but it's pretty easy to just take this component and move it to the common code so that Kadu can do it.
Yeah, I think it may be worth mentioning just doing to put it on the common code to reuse like the logs there. Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing, and again, we definitely want to push it forward in the 1.13 or 1.14 release because it's a very cool feature to see. Yeah, so let me put it here. Other than that, do we have any questions to the UI? Because again, as I mentioned on the previous meeting, I don't know how you like check this, but we probably want to be more focused on the UI on the 1.14 or on 1.14 release. Yeah, maybe at least like deprecates the previous one, and finally merge all of the necessary issues. I said it to you like 2 weeks ago that I will prioritize these tasks. I will try to do this on this week, and at least to see how we can prioritize the remaining issues. Yeah, and then just focus on it on the next release.
It's okay. I agree. And thanks.
Yeah, it's maybe some of them can be done before even we deprecate the UI. Yeah, but overall, we definitely need to focus on that in the next release. Sounds great. So any other questions or comments that we have right now for UI? I can put the issue here also. This one. Sounds great. Yeah, we have a couple of PRs here to discuss, but the problem is, I think we can just maybe discuss about it in the future about like changing the RBAC rules, which is a very important one. We definitely need to take a look in our RBAC and to just sleep on the necessary resources instead of having this unnecessary permission for all of the components that the KDP is using. Yeah, but we can maybe just keep it until the next meeting also, because this requires additional proposal. Okay, do you have any questions for training site as well, or KDP that we want to discuss? We can wrap up. Sounds great. And by the way, like for training, I believe we deprecate the old MPI using the common one, right? So everything is working there. Have you like did we try to test it? Yeah, I think it's a question to Kamaros, because like I think you created the PR to cut the MPI, right?
Oh, I missed it. Sorry. What was the? I heard that MPI was now we use only the common code, but was there something?
Yeah, just the question is like, did you try to test it, the MPI on the training side?
Not the MPI specifically.
No.
I only tested TF job until this point.
So we don't have MPI right now, right? In the apps folder.
No, there's no apps. It's only the common. But and also again, if you do find any issues in the common in the testing, once you use the 1.5 branch, just let me know in case we need to communicate it to folks more.
Yeah, sure. I think I will test all of since KDP is using all of the training operators, we can verify that it's working there in 1.5 branch. Yep, makes sense. Sounds great then. In that case, like, thanks everyone for joining today. So I hope to see you again next time. Thank you for all of your work. Yep. See you guys. Have a good rest of the week.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.